you get a good slow, the Ursa runs them down, gets the Fury swipes off, and that is one way to kind of play a faster lane with Warlock. So we'll see what the skill build will be there for Electronic Boys, but they have to be cautious about how much the Hoodwink can do, especially against a melee hero. It's super easy to cut around the Ursa early on, even as the game scales on. Like this Ursa up against a Puck and Hoodwink, there's a lot to keep it locked in. So you have to watch just how far forward you can get, if you can even get that far forward at all.
Yeah. A lot of tricky things when you're up against this Hoodwink hero, which I believe should be in the Pos 4 role, but I guess we can't 100% tell until we see the full draft flying out. It does, funnily enough, seem like a Yaren hero though, doesn't it? Like just an annoying position for, kind of almost like the techies where you don't know what it's going to do. It's could be a very interesting match as DogChamp, they go for the Troll Warlord now, so you've got that position 1 to fight against the Ursa. Fair enough. I think already just based off drafts, I'm liking where DogChamp's going with their own draft. I do still believe as well that is probably going to be a position 5 puck we're seeing. And the clever thing about this first pick puck, by the way, is the fact that Eboys have not banned out the qual. It is still available. They may assume that the mid puck is already going to be there. They have the opportunity to ban it right now. They get rid of the TA instead.
Yeah, I think they understand the puck is more than likely going to be the hard 5. They're just keeping all their options open, banning out some of those mid matchups, and just ensuring that they're not going to have too rough of a time there. Well, let's see what else does get taken out here by DogChamp. They get the Razor out just to ensure the Troll doesn't have that big of an issue up front. We know Giant likes to play the hero in the off lane. Still have a lot of options here for Eboys to kind of build up, though. Like, say, Centaur could be something they play with. Nick Centaur could be a fairly nice chain stun to get off. The issue is it's double melee up against a Troll, and that can be a bit challenging to gap close and get your initial damage off. So again, we'll just have to see what the call out for Eboys is. I think you want to get something that combines with a Warlock. They do take out the Quap in the end. So again, it's down to what DogChamp want really Lisa to play, what he does want to play here. Last time around, we did see him take the Wind Ranger. It could still come out against the Void Spirit. The lane's not as great for the Wind Ranger. I think the Void Spirit has a lot of ways to still play that lane. Shouldn't be too bad. But the Wind Ranger as well can just power shot and wind run around, dodging most of that damage. So we'll see what really Lisa wants. Maybe something like, again, Lena could be very stable here. It gives you good burst, holds the lane against Void Spirit fairly well, just ends up farming. Do worry about it into Nyx, but not many heroes enjoy going into the Nyx anyway. So I don't think you have a lot of choices in that matter. You just have to kind of deal with that bug.
Yeah. See what they do. Last pick up here for DogChamp. Must say, I didn't really enjoy the Wind Ranger last game. I felt like the impact was there at the beginning, but later on there was quite a bit of a struggle. So regular Lisa may not want to go back down that route. But it does seem like it would be decent enough into the Ursa. Probably not into the Void Spirit though on that 1v1 matchup. It does feel like you just kind of get out CS'd by the Void Spirit. They have 45 seconds to think about this final pickup. Speaking of, I mean, for Eboys, it does seem like they're lacking an offlane. Anything in particular you're seeing here that would do well against the Troll?
Centaur is still there, Tide's still there. Those could be some ways to be annoying. It also builds off your Warlock quite nicely. You get a lot of team fight out with those heroes. And Stampede, particularly for the Centaur, can help your Ursa kind of get away from the control DogChamp has, so they can kind of consider that. DogChamp do go with the Oracle, so it looks like we are seeing Puck mid for real, Lisa. I mean, Oracle core, I think we've seen that once, and I think it was simply, it was only Alliance that did it, though.
We did see it once, yeah. That was, anyway, it's not going to happen this game, I'm sure. It's going to be mid-puck, Pos 5 Oracle for bloody 9. Electronic Boys, again, they are still looking for that position 3. By the way, John, while we're talking about position 3s, have you seen this new build-up on Axe? Axe Shards Manta.
Yep.
And it's there! There you go, they pick it up, they're going to try and make it work. I love to see it. Axe Manta Shards is the way to play this year. I'm telling you, John, I was telling you once this Shards came out, and you didn't believe me. But the Manta is so broken. Once you have the Shards up, You have so much spin going on with those axe illusions. And they do pure damage. It's not... The damage isn't lessened at all by the illusions when you spin. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I didn't not believe you. I was going to say kind of like, yeah, you can make... No, I said you can make it work because axe with illusions was always really good. Like, that's something people never really maximized. In fact, the axe right-click spin talent used to be probably the more busted option, but axe was kind of a dead hero when that kind of came out. It was always theoretically better. You build attack speed, you've got more uptime and spin. That's always great. With the illusion build up now, you can just cut lanes, and you know, you get an illusion cape as well. You're gonna have a really good time if that does pop in down the line. It's fairly stable. The issue with axe is that initial build up. We have to see what Giant opts for first. Does he rush the Vanguard? Does he rush Blink? Does he want a Hood of Defiance to dodge some of that magic damage? He does have to kind of set the tempo for his team along with a Void Spirit. So something greedy like the Manta buildup might not be quick enough. He might have to divert.
Yeah.
Say the Blade Mail buildup first if he wants to take care of the Troll, of course. With the Axe, you can dunk through the False Promise if the threshold's low enough. So Eboys does have some really good some ways to counteract the Troll and his invulnerability in Battle Trance and False Promise. And we'll have to see if DogChamp can defend themselves against that and if Giant can get off to that running start. We saw him have a really good time in lane last time. He was holding out quite nicely with the Axe. Should be able to get that done once more. Axe plus Nyx is a decent lane. It's dual melee, so it's a bit tough to gap close up against the Oracle and Troll, and that might be a factor going in, at least in the initial levels.
Yeah, certainly so. By the way, I mean, I was talking about the Manta Axe. Obviously, I don't think it's going to happen this game in the off lane. Where I've been seeing it a lot is position 1 and position 2 Axe. So safe lane and mid lane Axe is where they get a little bit greedier and they can actually afford to farm up a Manta. But I am sure the Giant is going to go for your standard Vanguard or Hood of Defiance into the Blink Dagger. Maybe even a Blade Mail wouldn't be too bad here. Love this hero though. It's great that Axe is slowly making a comeback, and I'm sure Ice Frog's going to have something to change about the shards, as they are completely broken, let me tell you. But until then, it's quite a lot of fun, this hero. Especially at that 20-minute
funny because
mark.
that shard used to be a talent spike. It used to be a talent spike, and
yeah, but
no one ever opted for it.
Yeah, but you didn't get the, it was only the talent, that was the problem. Like, you didn't get the bonus attack speed. It wasn't the plus 10% chance on the proc as well. It was literally just, you can spin on attack. That was it.
Yeah, but the old build-up was you get an attack speed talent beforehand, and then you get the attack counter helix spark. You don't get an increased chance, true, but kind of the basis of that was still there, and I think I did hear some theory crafting back then where Manta was already sort of semi-viable, just the hero was kind of dead.
I was the one telling you, John. I was the one testing it. But I'm telling you, it wasn't as good as the shards now.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll see if Giant does opt for it. He is queuing up Dagons right now, so that's an even danker build for Giant, just going straight for the Calling Blade efficiency. We'll see if he pushes through that. Probably won't, but that does make it spicy initially. And of course, he's got that beautiful Axe Immortal kit. Very nice with the very lovely trousers there. All natural, you know?
Yeah. Can't play Axe any other way now, by the way. Like, any other cosmetics that come out, just can't change it. This is the best one.
Nah, it's not.
No pants, no shirt necessary. Bit of lag here, though, for Eboys. We're going to have to wait out a little bit longer before we can get to this game underway.
Proper skacks.
Never tried myself a Dagon Axe. I might try it after this game, John, or after this series. Yeah, that pans out.
Yeah. Good luck is probably all I'll say to that. Rushing Dagon. I'm sure your teammates will appreciate the burst damage, for sure.
But it's like finger, John, right? I just rush it, you know? Have a finger up. I can be lying.
Great. Awesome. This is it's some really high level stuff. You know, I'm wondering if Speed will ever talk about this on Giant. If he does go Dagon, maybe he makes a video. You know, most busted off lane, Axe Dagon.
I mean, why
with Manta.
It's not going to ever happen, unfortunately, but we can only dream. We can hope. Hopefully this pause doesn't take too much longer. Double 8. The Nyx Assassin gonna reconnect now. Yes?
I was going to say, am I bugged? Because I was clicking through everyone on Eboys. They all have Dagons queued up. I'm wondering if I'm... And then I click, okay, so I'm clicking DogChamp, it changes. But on Eboys' end, Albino Zebra is queuing up Dagon. Red is queuing up a bottle, so he's sensible. Speed is queuing up Dagons.
Makes sense.
Giant's queuing up Dagons, and Double A is not. Which is funny, because Nyx Dagon used to be the go-to on the old school Nyx mid. That used to be the position he was in a long time ago.
I mean, it makes enough sense. 3 Dagons, why the hell not?
Yeah.
Blow people up. Sounds like a good idea to
Yep.
me.
And what I'm looking forward to here is down the line, once you get levels up in the Fatal Bonds, if you get a good call with the bonds on top, whoop, a lot of damage bouncing through there.
That it is. Bounty runes, it's going to be an even trade. Neither side really willing to fight, it looks like. Very even start. No real surprises in terms of laning phase either. You'll see Luki at the top lane with Yaren, and they should be up against Speed. And of course our Warlock. Albino Zebra, he'll make his way up. I'm very curious. I mean, I really want to watch this lane for a little bit to see how Yaren plays this hero in that off lane. Now, I realize this isn't the first time the hero's been picked up in the pro meta, but we don't get to see it very often, and for us, it's the first time we get to see it in a pro match, and I'm very curious how impactful the hero is going to be in this off lane.
I think it's going to be really strong. Like, the spear into Bushwhack is going to be great, or reversed. You set Bushwhack into spear. You've dragged them naturally to a tree, and both heroes does just kind of want that. You can see Albino Zebra just going for the early Fatal Bonds and trying to zone out these heroes, shove out the wave a bit more as well, but it's not going to help for speed here.
Nice Bushwhack there from Yaren. That's actually a lot of damage output there from Luki and Yaren, and yeah, I mean, this could be a very painful lane for speed. Like, you've got Albino Zebra there that should be able to use that Shadow Word to heal you up, but he went for that level 1 Fatal Bonds. I mean, even if you have that level 1, level 2 Shadow Word, it's... The heal's nice, but it probably won't be enough to save you later on if they catch you out again with a spear and a Bushwhack out.
Yeah,
See what they get
I'm
done.
just kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised you opt for the Fatal Bonds level 1 here. Like, there is potential in stacking up Fury Swipes and bouncing that damage to the other hero. I feel like it's much more stable to just go Upheaval, to get the slow off, to have your Ursa get that position right, and get the damage off.
You always talk about Upheaval like it's the best skill in the game, John. You get very upset when people pick Fatal Bonds instead of Upheaval.
Yeah, because it just shoves the lane. Like, look, the harassment out from speed, it's not really tickling Luki or Yaren right now. You need levels up and swipes. We'll see if it does build up. At least now at level 2, you can heal up speed, so the harassment coming through is not going to be as bad from Luki and Yaren. We're going to need some levels up as well to really get the damage going. Gives us a chance to take a peek at mid. You've got Red on that Void Spirit and Lisa on the puck. Of course, Lisa already having the bottle. Red as well. Just going to go for the water runes. Initially looking pretty decent for Red. Slightly ahead in last hits, but the wave is in, and Lisa should be able to catch up a bit. In this lane matchup, we've seen Puck versus Void Spirit many times from Season 1. It holds steady. It's something the Puck should enjoy in the end, but the Void Spirit has ways of playing around it. You can land your spells. You have to watch the power runes, especially the 6-minute mark. Once that's up, Lisa can look for the bottle advantage, and that's where things can get slightly more difficult for the Void Spirit down the line.
Yeah, certainly so. And of course, the bot lane, you've got Giant there on the axe. He's going to be there along with Double A. And speaking of Double A, he's going to be chased down right now by Creep and Bloody 9. He's going to be just fine. He's going to walk himself out. It's like Giant. I mean, the Troll is not the easiest lane to go into, but he does have the Ring of Health now. Should mean he's able to sustain himself throughout the lane. And although you can still get a lot of harassment out if you are Creep, Giant should be just fine. However, Speed may not be just fine, as Luki is able to get that first blood, and well, I didn't quite see how that happened, John, but I imagine it was a spear and a Bushwhack flying out.
Yeah, very simple. You get them stuck to a tree, you get the follow-up onto the tree again, and you're just dead. It's just really scary for a melee hero to go up against that. You have to watch your angles there for speed and farming. Albino Zebra can't always be there to save you, and level 1 Shadow Word is not enough healing to kind of sit through that burst. So, really good aggression coming out from DogChamp, just playing steadily in this lane, getting the levels up, It's not going to be very easy for Speed to just focus on the farm. He's doing a decent job here, but not good enough. 12, 13 to 1 in terms of last hits. Compare that to Creep with the Troll. So much better for the Troll right now. 20 to 3. Not as much Giant can do. It is sort of like ranged versus Axe, and it's not too bad for Creep in that sense. There's not too much this dual melee lane can do. It's just very hard to gap close onto the Oracle or even to the Troll.
This is going to be so annoying. Mr. Speed on that Ursa. They'll turn around now and try to get a bit of damage out onto Yaren, but fun fact, John, Hoodwink starts with 320 movement speed for some reason, which is one of the more broken features about the hero. So Speed just can't keep up.
Yeah, it's just, you can't really gap close against Yaren, and if you want to jump Luki, you have to run the risk of getting speared back.
Giant.
You don't really have, again, setup there.
Risky play there from Giant, just trying to abuse the stick charges. Get some harassment out from onto Creep, but so Creep is going to get pretty lucky and doesn't really cop too many spins. They are trying to apply the pressure onto the Troll, but at least for now, Creep's having a great old time. I don't really see much you can do, like especially while Bloody Nine's around on the Oracle. He's always just going to be able to keep Creep alive. Unless Giant just gets very, very lucky with the spins. But right now he's going to take a lot of harassment. He'll try. Impale not going to land either. They'll still get him out, however. Giant will survive, but looks like Albino going to give another pause as they are still experiencing some lag issues. That might explain the missed Impale.
Yeah, it's rather unfortunate. If they got that, of course, there was a better chance of finding that kill. This lane's kind of stable for Eboys now, though. Giant's got the Ring of Health, so it's going to be very hard for Bloody Nine and Creep to look for the kill opportunity on the Axe. At the same time, Creep doesn't have to force that. Just keep farming up. He's got 28 last hits. It's not a lane he's struggling at all in. And again, compare that to Speed's progress up top. It's much nicer for a Troll. That's going to mean perhaps a faster Battle Fury timing if Creep's going to go there. And in this matchup, whoever gets Battle Fury first is going to have the better time in terms of farm, obviously, by that timing. But here's will start to have better farm scaling, and for Eboys, it could be detrimental for the Earths to fall behind. You really just want Battle Fury and a Mask of Death. Do you have the go-ahead? Looks like the internet issues are just going to hold up for AA, so hopefully not too bad. Hopefully it stabilizes, but that could cause some issues here for Eboys down the line.
Certainly could. Red's around now on the Void Spirit down to that bot side, and might try to make a play onto Creep, but they'll find Bloody Nine first, and they'll have to go for the Oracle instead. They'll be able to take the kill. Immediate TP down from Ray Lisa, however. Onto Giant he goes. Coil was available, but he's not going to throw it out. That's going to be a very nice rotation from Red, even forcing the rotation out from the puck. Ray Lisa, unfortunately for him, he's going to have some wasted time for himself. Just farm his way back into the mid lane, it seems.
It's a little bit more space coming out for Red. Gets a nice rotation off. He is sort of lacking behind the last hits, though, so I don't think Ray Lisa minds too much. He's highly efficient in that jungle and isn't, kind of compensated for missing out on lane creeps there. So you're pretty okay with that coming out from the puck. You save your Troll. You prevent any further rotations and commitments. Although, trouble still for our Oracle.
That there is. Looks like he's going to be alright. Purifying Flames out. Heal up slowly but surely. Red, he's got a nice haste rune now. Up towards that top side. Luki and Yaren, very vulnerable here. They are going to get to that tier 1 tower though, and that's going to make life a lot harder for Red. He's still going to try and jump in onto Luki, but the Aether Remnant not going to connect, and now they even get the Bushwhack off into the spear back underneath the tier 1 tower. But Red, he should be alright. Pretty nice play there from DogChamp, however, and well, now Red's the one with the wasted time. He could try to turn back around, and he might need to, because Speed was bushwhacked, but it's like the Void Spirit does not want to be here any longer.
Yeah, it's his turn to kind of go back, try to get that farm up.
Another spear.
Oh.
Yeah, they've got speed. He's going to try and stick charge, go back in onto Yaren, but there is the runaway with the Scurry. Still trying. Can't get the hit off though, he's just way too fast.
Yeah, and It's a bit of an awkward spot for Albino Zebra. Couldn't really get a good cast of the upheaval for the slow. Ideally, you'd want to play with upheaval Urchalk for the maximum slow stacking here. That's the point where speed can run down, try to focus in. It's just that the uptime for the spells from DogChamp are just way too high. The mana cost for Bushwhack isn't that high. Spear is pretty cheap as well. That just means that if you do overcommit, you're just going to be stunned up in a really awkward spot once more. And for DogChamp, this is a really good start for them. 1-1, less than 1k lead coming through. Most of their heroes there in the top. Only Red really kind of keeping up. The Axe even falling a bit behind. And that's not the best of news for Eboys. You really want a running start on these heroes. And so far, they're just not able to really get that early aggression they want. Creep is still having that good ramp up. Is going for the Maelstrom build on the Troll, so he wants to fight more often than Ursa, which is nice.
Giant. It's a call off onto Bloody 9, but again, getting a little bit unlucky with the spins. Fortune's End out now. Creep going to move forward. A nice impel, however. Double A trying to go after Bloody 9. But now you've got Ray Lisa around with the Dream Call out. That'll mean Giant just can't sustain himself. Meanwhile, Double A trying to chase down Bloody 9 and get something for their trouble, but won't even be able to get the Oracle. You'll have to back off. It's got quite bad news for Eboys. You could make the argument with Ray Lisa rotating, the mid lane was free, but well, now Yaren's there farming up and getting his own XP up on the Hoodwink. And it is a very XP-based hero, so you do want that.
He's going to have a really good timing to that Sharpshooter. You're going to have such nice burst with your combos on hand. You have a lot of hold to line that up for. You can play with Root on your Oracle. You can play with the Dream Coil, Spear, Arena. It's just a lot that you've got to be conscious about from Eboys' end once that's up and running. And it's at that point where the Hoodwink is going to show up in the side lanes, help keep that aggression up, help buy the space out the farm. And the side of Eboys still haven't found that momentum. Like, they've got the levels up on Giant. He's got that nice Vanguard up, so he's very tanky in this lane. He hasn't really been able to abuse that tankiness to its full potential, though.
Bottom lane, Giant, again, on to Bloody 9. Might be able to kill him. Bloody 9 just continues to survive every single time. Gotta say, by the way, while we have a bit of downtime, these Hoodwink lines, these voice lines are so ridiculous. These are not things we say in Oceania, by the way. These are these lines from the Hoodwinkers. They do get the Sharpshooter out. Creep gonna move in onto the Axe, and Giant just can't survive. It does take 4 heroes, but you kill off that offlane Axe again, and I can tell you, John, it's... As an Axe player myself, it's not very fun trying to come back from a deficit like this.
No, you're going to have to play in the jungle, maybe look to just soak a lane for a very long time. You're going to eat away resources from your other cores, and you really want your Ursa to get priority in the jungle, so that means your Axe is just going to have to play forward there.
Yaren. The heals out, and the false promise. Yaren's going to be fine. Red unable to finish off the kill, and now the turnaround onto the next assassin. They will get double A. So we don't say that. Who says caught you in your stubbies?
I don't know. I'm not from there, Mike. I wouldn't know. I can't verify that info.
Luki, top lane, trying to move on to Speed, but Speed now going to turn around with the Shadow Word, but there's your spear out with the God's Rebuke. Albino Zebra, he was threatening with the Golem, but was never really intending to drop it, and well, now Speed's going to be careful because Yaren is back in the lane. You've got that double stun kind of combo, and Speed, he's posturing as if he's going to go move in, but I don't think he will. He's going to be careful. In fact, there's your Bushwhack out now. Luki, he gets the spear, and they even have Ray Lisa here, but they don't even need him. Albino, he'll get dived underneath the tier 1 tower. He's gone. No way out of this one. A double kill out for Yaren.
If I'd known you're a blood Ranger, I'd aim for the mouth.
Yeah, it's a really nice start coming out here for DogChamp. The aggression's lining up. I think they were looking for an opportunity to drop the Chaotic Offering, but Speed was just too far forward, got bursted down way too quick to look for the turnaround, and they're just going to be sitting on that spell for a bit longer. They are TPing back top, though.
Nice impale. Ray Lisa being caught out and immediately bursted down by Red and Luki. He's going to try TP away, but it's not going to be good enough. Red able to get a double kill, and with the double damage, of course, the Void Spirit has so much damage output. That'll help Red get a little bit closer now to that Orchid pickup.
That's a key timing for that Void Spirit. Like, you need these initial items to line up. Orchid coming through means you're not going to have self-setup with the Yules, so it might be a bit harder to get that initial lockdown. That's going to have to come through with, say, the Blink on Giant instead, but even Giant's coming fairly close to that Blink. Mansion recovered quite nicely from that slower lane. The lead out from DogChamp isn't that big, so it's not like there was a massive deficit coming out despite the slower start anyway, and that does mean you're still going to meet some of these item timings. So Giant, 200 off the Blink, that's when you start to set up. You look for Blink calls with the Fatal Bond. You look for the Chaotic Offering opportunities. For DogChamp, that point of the game is pretty scary. You just need to sit back, keep building up on creep, wait for the BKBs to fly out before looking for those fights back in. And that does mean they're going to have a little bit more of a slower game going into that big spike from Eboys.
99 going to move into the jungle now. Speed not going to be able to just patiently, rather peacefully, just farm up. Double A does have the Vendetta. It's going to move in on the next assassin. Make sure Speed does remain alive in this jungle, and because he had a very tough laning stage, so he's going to have a bit of a later Battle Fury timing. Just trying to ensure it's not going to be too late. Hey boys, they do leave him alone, but that means Lukey can move in like this. I feel like you've got to babysit the Ursa right now. Lukey is just going to bully him away like this on the Mars. You've even got Rayla Lisa moving in on the puck now as well, so you've got to be very cautious.
Yeah, they're just kind of lined up elsewhere. The side of Eboys looks like they want to prioritize that mid tower to get some good damage off. Not enough to really force it down. They are still sitting on that Chaotic Offering from Albino Zebra, but they just don't see that big opportunity. They do smoke up here on Eboys though, so they might look to use that teamfight spell soon.
Lukey's going to be targeted. Red chasing him down. Smoke broken, but a nice spear out. Not going to allow the Disables to fly in, and now the tier 1 mid tower. Dog Creep, they'll just, excuse me, DogChamp will get it started. Creep the one hitting the tier 1. Speed, Arena, Speed is out. That's a great setup from Lukey. Lukey into the Ursa, but a big golem drop, and now the call out. It might be big. False Promise is there on Rayla Lisa, however, he gets the coil, and they will just delete them. Giant and Speed both dropping. Rayla Lisa somehow going to survive through the False Promise. They'll try to go on to more. Battle Trance going to be popped. Double A. Spike Carapace maybe lets him get out, but no, they have the Fortunes and they will root him in place. Giant is in with the call. It will not matter, however, Creep. He'll just keep fighting. They even found Red on the high ground. That's a real shame. Giant, he bought back for that on the Axe. That's not going to feel nice at all.
Yeah, it's a rough one for Eboys. They didn't initiate the way they wanted to. They got caught with the Arena, although.
Nice call. Does catch out the troll, but the Fate's Edict is going to make it so he doesn't attack anyway. And it's a very kind of cheeky play from Bloody Nine, just giving the Fate's Edict over to his own carry. So he can't attack, and that way you can't force the Axe to spin.
Yeah, and I think we saw him do that in laning as well. Every single time the call came off, he just ensured that the disarm would fly out as well, so they wouldn't have much more chances of the spin coming through. You saw that spear coming out from Lukey. Doesn't get latched on because these Roche walls aren't counted as walls, but does stall out Speed. They are going to try to rotate again for the mid. They do not have Chaotic Offering though, so they're going to have to watch the commitment if they go too deep.
That sharpshooter, just so annoying. Pretty obnoxious how much damage it does, and of course the break is one of the stronger aspects of it as well. So Giant setting up to gank that mid lane. Yaren needs to be careful. He may get caught out, and does a nice call from Giant to catch out the Hoodwink, but is it going to be enough? He'll just try to scurry his way out. Bloody Nine, though, is going to drop immediately, but they have the Arena down. Still Speed is going to try and fight with the Enrage out. Another call is there. They've got Rayla Lisa to boot, but now here comes Creep. With the Battle Trance, they will at least get the Axe now. Albino Zebra, he was channeling the upheaval, but does end up getting punished for it. Still a 2-for-3 trade, and they're going to keep going, E-Boys. They know the Battle Trance is down, but Speed, he's gone. Creep should eventually die here and does eventually go down. Rayla Lisa will try to clean up. Orb not going to connect on Double A, but eventually he will be able to get the kill. That was a pretty even trade. I believe it was a 4-for-4 in the end.
Yeah, you feel a bit better about it for DogChamp. I think keeping that Ursa down is a lot bigger. The Battlefield just finally comes out for speed, 18 minutes, right about. Not the quickest, definitely on the slow side there, so the farm is still needing to be built up.
Red trying to get some damage out into the puck, but can't quite do much with Bloody Nine around. You seen the new build up on Void Spirits, by the way? I've seen a lot of people doing this, but going for the right click build and even building up into a Battle Fury. Red's not doing it, but this is something I've been seeing a lot. Battle Fury Void Spirit. And you tend to just go things like S and Y and just be a right click hero.
I can get the S and Y. I can also see, say, a Desolator. We've seen a couple of Void Spirits with Desolator. I don't know about Battle Fury. It's just super greedy on the hero. He really has some tight timings early on, and I think that's just the biggest detriment to him right now. Like, if it takes too slow to build up, you just kind of miss your early power.
Oil. Bushwhack's not going to land, but they have the arena with the spear around. Nice golem though from Albino, and now the call from Giant going to save the day. Will allow the Void Spirit to remove himself from this scenario. Double A. He's going to be alright. Oh, the Golem still just chasing people down as Lukey has been caught out by the 8th Remnant. They want to really keep fighting. They will lose Lukey, and now Bloody Nine will also go down. Great team fight there for Eboys. They move in for that mid-tier 1 tower now. They should be able to get it just fine. It'll be a little bit too challenging to defend this one. Giant, another nice call out now, catching up the Hoodwink Yaren. He's going to get blown up, and that's a triple kill out for speed.
He's starting to catch up really nicely. Not from farm, but from farming heroes. And this should open up the Roche as well. They've got the Axe that can tank. Just build up the Fury Swipe, so Roche will eventually melt. They do have Dream Coil up in 20, but that is fairly long. This Roche is going to go. They do get the Scandos, and he might still come in.
Spear in, Lukey. Try and slow this Roshan down the best he can, but Giant, another great call out onto 2 heroes. Bloody Knight's gone. Lukey has to back off. He'll just use up the axe. He needs more help though. And Creep, he started a team fight. He's on the Warlock. He'll get Albino Zebra. Meanwhile, Double A, he'll stun up Lukey in the backside, and Giant gets another call off. On the right side, however, there's a Dream call out. They will catch Red on the Void Spirit, and a great sharpshooter, Yaren. Managing to connect the arrow. Rayla Lisa, he's going to try back for a bit, wait out the enrage, but eventually should be able to get the kill, and does. This Hoodwink is looking very strong, John. If you can land the spells, it does seem very powerful. And well, now Roshan going to go the way of DogChamp.
They just take everything. They get the big kills, they get the big objective. The Hoodwink, Yarn's just been playing really well, but I saw this again in that one OEDL game. Like, if you've got the chain stun combos, if you play aggressive with a hero, it is so obnoxious. Like, it just scales really well into the late game. It's always going to be annoying. And the side of Eboys, they're going to need something to protect at some point. And maybe a BKB out in the Ursa going to help massively here, but you also need a Blink up in the Ursa. You're going to need a Basher down the line. There's still a lot of farm for speed to have to work towards. You do have a little bit more here on Giant. I believe he's flying out his Blade Mail. So the Axe is going to have that forward presence. Does mean that the Shard build-up's going to be a bit slower. You could still opt for it going in at, say, item number 4, maybe item number 3 afterwards. So you can still kind of queue into that, say, spinny Axe with a right click. But it's going to be delayed because you're forced to go into the utility Axe, the controlling teamfight Axe. And that just means you kind of lose out on the damage output. On Axe, where it's still pretty darn good, but Giant's been kind of forced to try and get just single target calls for the control, as they kind of just want to catch someone out and get the burst damage off. In the bigger team fights, it can go back and forth. Like, we've seen Albino Zebra get the Fatal Bonds with a call, and early on, it doesn't feel as amazing as you'd expect. I think the heroes in DogChamp are just a bit tanky, and if Bloody Nine is outside that call, you can just kind of save his big course anyway. So you have to really select your targets cleanly here from Eboys, and that's not the easiest thing to do when there's a puck, when there's a Mars running around, when there's a Hoodwink just kind of scurrying around as well. It makes it very hard to find that perfect clump up and get that punishment off.
That it does. Very surprised to see that Giant hasn't opted to pick up the shards yet, though. Unless... No, the Blade Mail's on the Courier, so no shards up.
Yeah, he can't. He can't do it. Like, it's too much farm. Like, he has no jungle to play into. That's the spot for your Ursa. If he goes forward in the lane without, say, Vanguard, Blink, and Blade Mail, he's dead. He can't afford to divert to Yasha just yet. And the shard is nice, but it's not a high priority.
Don't get me
He
wrong.
needs to stand forward.
He's not going to buy Manta. I mean, that's a carry axe build anyway, but the shards is pretty darn good, though. I guess we'll see. I mean, if he manages to find a place to farm, I do agree that things are a bit tight right now for Eboys in terms of farming space. Obviously, the BKB probably going to be very important as well in the axe. Just needs to be able to get in and blink call without being worried about all these disables from DogChamp. They'll move in to the top side here, DogChamp. Got your blink up on speed now, so he's got a bit more mobility on that Ursa. That's kind of indicate they do want to fight. Thing is, you probably don't want to fight into the Aegis of Creep right now. Rather wait that out. So they're not going to even try defending that top tier 2 tower. Nor will they trade. Just kind of roam the Radiant jungle.
Some good space to get some farm going. Their top jungle's now completely warded here from the side of DogChamp, so it's their safest spot to be in. They've got good vision in the triangle, though. Could be something that catches DogChamp off guard if they're not careful. They are sort of in position, although AA does pull back, so they're not going to get that pick-off potential. But this is one way to kind of stabilize your farm. You're getting that build-up on your Void Spirit. Kaya Sanch now up and running for red. He's going to be a lot tankier in the front line. He's going to do a lot more damage as well with the Spell Amp on hand. Going to feel pretty nice for the Void Spirit, especially that Orchid. And we are seeing the Ag Shard rush as well for Dissimilate. He's going to have a wider grave running. Ooh.
Nice blink away. Perfectly timed. Raylalisa, he's still going to cancel off the TP. In speed, he's probably going to die anyway. Fortune's End, he's going to fly out. Sharpshooter, it won't land, but it won't matter either. Speed has no help incoming.
Get up if you can.
Looks like DogChamp want to try for high ground. You still have the Aegis, so you may as well give it a crack.
I can't fault them. They've got really good team fight up there. And they will be punished if they clump too close. That does rely on Giant getting there in time. They are TPing home now.
Can they defend, though? Full damage rune available on Raylalisa is gone now. It's got the big BKB on creep, but it looks like they are just going to back off. No need to risk it. Still like a lot of chip damage on that tier 3 tower. And that'll be about it.
Yeah, you don't want to really overcommit there. There's still the chaotic offering from Albino Zebra. It's a tight spot. Giant could get a good call with Fatal Bonds on top. And it's a really safe spot for upheaval, although they did smoke up here.
They did, but it's going to be broken immediately. Double-A in the right spot. Now the counter smoke there from Eboys. They want to try and initiate, and they do. Who have they caught? It's going to be Lukey, but the false promise is out. And now Urena catching out 4 heroes creep. He is going to have a field day in here. Still has that battle transfer. We'll pop it right onto speed, onto AA. Now your dream call out from Raylalisa. That'll be a triple kill out for creep. On Eboys, they ran right into that one. Trying to burst down Lukey, but it goes back to that initial point you made, John. If you don't kill off Bloody 9, or if you don't catch Bloody 9, he's going to false promise, and well, whoever you've got is going to be just fine.
Yeah, and again, there's so much pressure on Giant to catch more than one hero in the call. One-man calls are not something you can build off of with this lineup. Warlock doesn't care for it. You don't get Fatal Bonds usage, the Chaotic Offering falls flat, and because of that execution, Eboys miss out on a big fight. Rax opens up top, Creep can just hammer in. They're going to lose one whole set here, maybe get pressure on tier 3, although respawns are short enough that they're probably not going to greed out too hard here.
Top tier, top rack's gone. DogChamp still hanging around that mid lane. Speed, gonna be very cautious. Lukey, he's moving in with that arena again, but the blink out is gonna be in time still. Lukey is on the chase.
A prize.
Speed's still hanging around that bot side. Creep's gonna show up. No Aegis intact this time. It did just expire.
Regeneration.
If you're Eboys, though, you're kind of forced to defend high ground now, it seems like. You can't really afford to go low ground and defend this tier 2 tower. They're just going to let it go. For DogChamp, you may as well just wait out that it's Roshan.
Yeah. If they want to play it safe, I think they can actually play aggressively. They know that the chaotic offering's down. So a lot of that high ground defense of Eboys just boils back down to Giant. And if they actually manage to catch Giant out, that could open an additional opportunity onto the high ground. Next Roche, still going to have to wait for about 2 minutes until that respawn shows itself. You can just use this time to keep farming up. Creep saving up for the Scotty is going to be really big in keeping that kiting around the Ursa. And it's been a tough game for Speed. Not only is he being kited around, but every single time he gets hit by the break, like he loses his damage reduction on Enrage, he loses his Fury swipes as well. Like at least it feels like he loses the damage reduction, because I've seen him on Enrage and he just gets squished down.
As soon as they see Speed, they rush towards the top lane. Speed's going to try and TP. Yaren not going to go for the blind bushwhack. He's going to miss out. Speed, nice TP away. It's good game sense knowing that he shows them the map and they are going to chase him down. Of course, what you want to do when you're ahead in this game is you want to just chase down whenever you see somebody. And well, mid lane, they're going to see Speed again. He does have backup. Raylalisa is going to move in though with the Dream Collar. Now the spear around onto double A. There's your arena down. Speed is trapped. How do you fight here, Creep? He just moves right in. He has the battle trance, so he feels very, very safe. And we'll go on to Speed now once the enrage is over. In fact, Speed is going to be able to get out. But I can't say the same for everybody else. Lukey, let's go down. Red is able to at least get the Mars and Bloody 9 drops. That is going to be it. The rest of DogChamp is out of there. So it wasn't quite as one-sided as DogChamp would have hoped. Eboys still managed to get 2 heroes for themselves.
I think that all boiled down to the fact that you had double A get hit by the break. Really needed that from Ursa if you want to find that kill.
Oh, Red's got the puck as well, but Raylalisa has used up of his own, and now Yaren. There's your sharpshooter out. That's a level 3 sharpshooter, so, you know, max damage of 1,250.
Oh, even Giant, double A, they're all on it. Everyone's tipping Red. God love it.
Poor Red.
Poor Red. It's a bit of a rough game right now for Eboys. Again, the only reason they won that last fight was because the sharpshooter hit the Nyx instead of the Ursa. Really good force staff coming out from Albino Zebra, allowing to get that Ursa to escape is nice as well. They're gonna have to be ready though. Roche in 2 minutes. That's gonna be Ags, Ag Shard, Aegis, and Cheese, and that's always probably the biggest Roche because it comes out so early, and there's so much impact with that free Ag Shard. Like if you give it over to your Troll here, you're gonna have a Rampage, which is always nice to have on hand for big team fights, and they're just gonna be camping for that objective next. Eboys, they still hold on to a lot of wards here from Albino Zebra. They just haven't been able to drop them. They already have 2 wards watching your triangle, but they don't have Roche vision. So many sentries out here from the side of DogChamp to ensure that they've got a very smooth ride into the Roshan pit. And for Eboys, if they do hold out, they will at least have Chaotic Offering back up for the next Roche. They've just got to get there in time and, again, get the proper initiation off. They've got the BKB up in speed. With his blink, it's going to allow him to stand in front and take the fights a lot better. He just has to ensure that he doesn't get controlled up first.
Arena down. Red, he is going to avoid the spear, but unfortunately Giant's the one who caught it. He's going to die. Dream Quarter to secure the kill into the Nyx Assassin. They will find another. Raylalisa is godlike on the puck. God, I hate that line so much.
I love it. It just gets you mauling. I love hearing it now. It just gets me giggling because I can imagine you just cringing at it. Oh, I know how much you hate the Hoodwink as well, it's a hero. So it's just icing on the cake, Mike. Just a little bit more pepper on that steak, you know?
Oh, here we go. High ground. is secured by DogChamp. They're going to try and move in for Eboys. This could be very dangerous, however. Speed has already been caught out. He will try to BKB and rage away. He needs some help. Nobody coming in, though. They are all afraid to get to the high ground, so Speed will just drop by himself. They are going to kill off Lukey, but it is not worth it as the Dream Call is there now. Giant is going to try and fight back with the Golem out from Albino Zebra, but Creep, he still has the Battle Trance. He will pop it now. He'll get the Axe. They'll even find Red on the Void Spirit. This game might just be over. There is little to no buybacks left. But Red's the only one left. They're just going to leave him. He's the only one up. You can still buy back an Albino Zebra, but that's just a Warlock.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough. They blew the Golem there as well. Just a lot of hesitation going up, whereas Speed was already committed. They didn't quite manage to follow up. And now they lose 2 set of racks. Tier 4 is going to be pressured in. They have to kind of deal with a troll somehow, but they don't really have heroes in. Respawn for the Axe is a bit too long. The Ursa is back up, but I don't know if Red and Speed have enough in them to take all these heroes on.
Scepter out, Arena down. They've got the Ursa, but Lukey, tanky boy, or maybe not tanky enough. They get the Yule Scepter out. Sharpshooter in. Red needs to back off Speed. He's going to try and man fight, but he just can't. You just can't. There's Yaren just giving it to him. Into the Ancient they go. Dream Call out. Raid Elisa, he wants to torture them a little bit longer. There's your Bushwhack out. Spear is going to land on Albino Zebra. Red, he will be able to get away, but they are fountain diving. Giant does at least get a nice call off and does kill off Body 9, but the Ancient is going to drop. That'll be another 2-0 victory for the side of DogChamp. John, they remain undefeated.
Yeah, I'm sure the DogChamp Twitter guy is going to have some words there again. They play spectacularly well here in this series. Again, remember Season 1, Electronic Boys managed to take a game off of DogChamp. This time around, DogChamp just getting on top. They managed to play really clean early on. They managed to make this Hoodwink work. Just so much potential with Hoodwink Mars. Just such a strong laning combo. It's so hard when you have these chain stunts and setups for each other in Mars Hoodwink. And Electronic Boys just couldn't really overcome it. Like they had this Ursa Warlock lane that was okay and self-sustaining, but it never really managed to overwhelm the side of DogChamp or prevent the aggression. And I think that's where it really started to pile on. Like the Battle Fury time for Speed wasn't too quick. The rotations from Red, it did work out in the bot lane. They did find the Oracle, not the Troll though. And they couldn't really get anything done in the top lane rotation. So they just missed out on some of these macro timings, the timings they wanted to meet for pickoffs. And from there, DogChamp just kind of built up.
That they did, Jonathan. And of course, we should have a winner's interview coming up very, very soon. I'm just not 100% sure who we're going to have joining us today, but I guess anyone's fine. I don't have anyone in particular that I really want to, speak to. In particular, I'm happy to speak to anyone from DogChamp, but we'll see who it's going to be. Everyone obviously probably in high spirits after their win today. And well, judging by the last interview we had, I mean, they seemed quite kind of unexcited the last time around.
Oh.
What is it, John? Who have we got?
We do have Yaren ready.
Oh,
He's
good.
in the waiting room.
Good, because I do want to speak to this man. I want to have a bit of a chat to him about these hero pickups. Hello, Yaren. Can you hear us, sir?
Hello, yes, I can.
Very nice to speak to you again. Congratulations on your victory once again. I suppose I'll ask you how you're doing after that 2-0 victory.
Doing great, obviously. Thank you. Yeah, feeling good. Getting my techies once again. Feels good.
Do you play any normal heroes, Yaren? Like we see techies and then we see Hoodwink. Like is this a thing with you where you just like playing those heroes that are very annoying to have to verse?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I have some normal shit, but I like, trying new stuff all the time. I like being the exceptional player. So yeah, I guess I'm attracted to those unusual heroes. But yeah, I can play normal stuff too.
Nice. Good to hear.
Fair
good to
enough.
Hear. He just prefers not to, Johnny. He prefers to torture his opponent. That's fair enough.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I like seeing it. Now, Yaren, you guys are on week 4. You're still undefeated. We only have, 2 weeks left, only a few matches left. You guys probably still feeling confident, right, in closing out? You guys reckon it's a clear path towards that Div 1 promotion, or are you guys staying on your toes here? Are there any opponents you guys are watching out for at all, or is the confidence just at an all-time high here?
No, honestly, nobody is like scaring us. We're super confident in our games, in our drafts, in the way we play. Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I don't want to say like we're for sure like in Div 1 already, but I can see us like getting there. The road seems not so hard at the moment.
Yeah, excellent. I'm curious, like when the Techies comes out, do you ever feel like some remorse for what you're doing in these games? Because it's just brutal. You know, you just play the mind games, you kill off the supports, they have to buy 2 gems, you have to buy 1,000,000 sentries. Do you ever feel remorse, or are you a man with no mercy when you play that hero?
You're forgetting the voice lines, man. It's like the biggest part. I kill Bane, gotcha. It's the voice lines that kill them. No, I don't feel any remorse. I'm actually having a lot of fun playing Tech. I know it's like a meme. Only the Techies has fun. His team suffers, the enemy team suffers, but I'm having the greatest time when I play Techies. It always gives me hype, you know, to bomb people. But yeah, it's really fun. I would say no remorse. I want to torture everyone.
Yeah, that's great. At least one person's having fun. Good to hear, Yaren. At least you enjoy it.
I can hear him
Sorry for you
smiling
guys
while he's
again.
talking. I can hear Yaren just smiling as he's talking to us about this Techies pickup. What about the Hoodwink? You talked about the Techies voice lines, Yaren. Do you like the Hoodwink voice lines?
I think the 12 one is really fucking good, but I haven't got there yet. There's like the voice line, did you fall out of your nest as a baby? That's like the best voice line. I just didn't get it yet. I would spam it 24/7 if I had it, honestly, but I'm not there yet. Maybe next time you see me Hoodwink, I'll be level 12.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm a
Yaren,
voice line specialist.
Was the team worried during game 1, by the way, Yaren? Like the game was rather close. We saw a Divine Rapier out from the TA red. Were you guys worried at any stage during the game, or was it cool, calm, and collected?
I think we made a bunch of costly mistakes, I would say, that did kind of give us like the feeling that we might not be able to defend or something. But as long as I'm alive, and as long as like I'm already in the base and like prepared to defend, then I know I'm safe. But like my team could be a little bit stressed. I was a bit too, honestly. But I think as long as I'm alive with like the minefield sign off cooldown and like I have a bunch of mines in the base and plus ags and stuff, then I'm like pretty safe. Yeah, I mean we did have some moments, but overall I think we're pretty confident that the game is ours.
Yeah, fair enough. I've got a pocket question here. Like, Morphling Ags comes through. I'm curious, do you happen to know if Morphling gets the minefield sign upgrade as well when he turns into Techies in that case? Do you get like double invisible spots for your mines with that interaction? Or have you not encountered it yet?
That's a good question. I mean, I could test it right now, but I don't know.
So you haven't
That's
had
a good
that. So
question.
it was the Ags wasn't for the double minefield sign.
No, I mean, I have played Techies Morph before, but not like intentionally.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't think I've seen the minefield sign on a morph, so I would say no, but I will definitely test it after this.
All right, no problem. Yeah.
All right. With that, I think we're good here, right, John?
Yeah, I think we're as good as we can be with a Techies player.
All right. With that, thank you very much for joining us, Yaren. Congratulations on your victory once again, and well, I wish you the best of luck, but I don't think you guys need it very much.
We might, who knows. Thank you very much, and always a pleasure hearing your casts.
Likewise.
you.
Thank you very much.
Right. See you. Good night.
All right.
Good night.
That was the lovely Yaren. Excuse me, I'm having a lot of trouble speaking right now, apparently, John. But that was the lovely Yaren, and I've got to say that guy always puts a smile on my face. I do enjoy interviewing him quite a lot. That man, he's just like having a casual conversation with your mate. You know, just having a casual chat, seeing what's going on. He does seem a little bit sadistic with the techies. You know, he enjoys torturing his opponents a little bit, but it's okay. I suppose that's what the hero does after all. What can you do?
Yeah, he just plays it really well, and it just makes it so hard to play against DogChamp because you have all these very specific bans that has to come out in the first phase. You have to ban out Luki's Pango or his Mars. You have to ban out Rayla Lisa's Storm and Quap. You have to ban out Yaren's Techies and now the Hoodwink. So you have to make that choice in the initial phase. It just makes it so hard for any of these teams to face off against them, and it just builds that confidence up. They work so well as a team. I love watching the games. I remember Yaren was in the lobby saying, MLP and John, sorry you have to keep casting my techies. I love casting it. We miss the kills, but it's just hilarious when it does come out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, I mean, we enjoy it. I mean, somewhat, you know, as long as the game doesn't go on for 4 hours, we enjoy it. Nevertheless, that is going to be it. It is MLP Dota and johnxfire. Unfortunately, no other series on today for the North American side of things. But I believe we are, not us, but NA is going to be back tomorrow for some upper and lower division games on this channel, of course. So if you did want, come check it out. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you all next time.